Jurassic Park. It's an incredible book. It was recommended to me by a friend at work 3 years ago, and I'm rereading it now. It's better than the movie. I know I sound like everybody who reads books at all, and it's for a lot of reasons. You really get in there with the characters. There's more characters, they have more backstory. It's really got to be like a 4 out of 5. The only reason I don't give it a 5 out of 5 is because the writing in this is absolutely incredible, but I mean, it's not Ulysses or Shakespeare, but it's not trying to either. It's like one of the most like self-aware, fun books that I've read in a really long time. Ian and the stuff that he does and says, like, if you like Goldblum in the movie, you're gonna absolutely love him in this book. So much like fun stuff in the book. There's all kinds of like tables and like explanations of stuff, and like he really did all kinds of work on this. In terms of the plot, boom, 5 out of 5. The concept is insane. You could build a franchise of it, which is why they did. There's parts in Costa Rica, there's law offices, there's, you know, the dig site where you meet Grant and everything, and then there's obviously so much is on the island. It's just so much more expansive. The way the characters think and the decisions they make, that they're all sort of making moves. In the movie, they got so much mileage out of dinosaurs and there being dinosaurs and the visuals of all of that, that there's so much of like people reacting, and there's a lot of reacting in the book. But in a book, you know, it's more about what they're thinking rather than what they're doing. So the planning and the plotting and the explanations and the science and the stuff that he does is so much more intricate than I thought it was going to be. The style, I'm also going to give it like a 4 out of 5. The book is funny and scary, which is so rare in any type of media. I mean, there's like horror comedies and stuff, and that's not this. But the way that people describe things, it is what's made it such a perfect companion for Spielberg. Because like when you watch Spielberg movies, they're so fun, and you're so like they just make you smile in the way of like how human everyone is. That's in the book. That's not just Spielberg. Like, that's why it was such a perfect match to adapt. But the world is a character, and that's even before you get to the island. Like, his writing style, it really just comes alive because it's so like sardonic and it's so dry at times. I really did not expect it to be as funny as it is, which sort of gets me into the theme. And the theme is good. I'll give it like a 4 out of 5. The theme obviously is, you know, the hubris of man, and it sort of has that, you know, the pride, and Ian Malcolm, you know, goes into that ad nauseum in the book and in the movie. But the way that pride that humans have, especially like, you know, Hammond specifically, compared with the total incompetence of everyone involved, that is a lot of where the humor comes from. And you can tell, like, I know that he went to Harvard Medical School, clearly had a background in this, because from the very beginning there was no way this was going to work, but they did it anyway. And so when you have people that are just throwing blood samples away or just writing people off, not even because of the ludicrous nature of them thinking there are dinosaurs before they even get to the park, but the ludicrousness of how people just ignore the signs. I really wish that he had been alive to see what happened in the last few years, because it's insane how accurate it is in the fact that there could just be this giant problem not aware of until it's too late. The pacing's perfect. It's so fast. It's so fun. And one of the things I like about it, like another book I'm reading right now is Count of Monte Cristo. And there will be parts of Count of Monte Cristo where you're like, Jesus, why is this in here? You could have just said this, and the chapter could have been a page and a half. And I feel like a lot of writers feel like they have a chapter has to be a certain length. He does not feel that way. When there's a chapter in the beginning of this where, maybe it's closer to the middle, but like where he just, it's a phone call, page and a half, done, chapter's over. And he also has like sections. They're called like iterations in terms of like the act breaks. That made it like such a joy. So overall, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna give it like a 4.5 out of 5. Like I can't even. Fantastic. I highly recommend it. And it's a fast read. You'll read it in. I'm reading it at night out loud to my girlfriend, which is why we're not, which is the only reason I'm not done with it again. The first time I read it, I think I read it in 3 days, 2 days. Read the book. Just read it. I got it for $5 at Westsider NYC in the Upper West Side. So if you're anywhere other than New York, it's even cheaper. Just read it. It's fantastic.